Hello again.
So I don't know if you just heard me say, but I think he looks very jaunty. And he said, I am. So what more can you ask for? So as you know, Harry is an architect of iconic houses here in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles area. And we wanted to take the opportunity to have him come and talk a little bit about his work. You obviously had a chance to chat with him yesterday, a little bit, I hope, and read his interview in your program, but there's, I think, probably some more questions we can ask. So I wanted to just ask you, in Los Angeles, are there other places that inspire you? Are there other buildings and work by other architects that have inspired you over the years?
I get most of my inspiration, though, from nature and not other architects. And castles. I love castles.
Who doesn't love a good
Medieval
castle?
castles. They turn me on.
Do you have pieces of castles in your house?
What?
Do you have pieces of castles in your house?
Yes, I do. I have some armor from them. I have some weapons from them. Mm-hmm. I smuggled out of Salzburg, for instance.
Okay, please do not alert the authorities to these things. Don't tell the Mac Center. Okay, well, so we were able to come and see your house, the Sandcastle, yesterday.
Yes.
And that was truly a delight. It was a beautiful day to be there. But I think every day might be a beautiful day to be at the Sandcastle.
It is. It
And
is, no matter what's happening.
Absolutely. I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about the inspiration for that particular building, for how you designed your house and how that came to be.
Well, the underlying inspiration was love. I was very much in love with a woman, and we married and lived there for 50 years. But I designed it for her and my son that we had. And for the general population of surfers, people that I knew that loved the ocean and loved the beach. And I was inspired by, I guess, a sand bucket upside down that I built with my son on the beach. And it developed from that shape.
It developed because you were playing on the beach with your son.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That and it just evolved. I can't put my finger on any particular reason that it was designed that way, other than the fact that I wanted a tower and a place to look at this incredible view. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very inspiring spot.
Absolutely. And it's very livable. You have lived there for many years, and it's become a part of the family.
Yes, it's because it is in the round. I think that houses, a great deal of them, should be designed in the round because there's no lost space. There's a beautiful collection of how the atmosphere circulates through a round house, especially a tower. Tower. Sorry, I got the cue.
Yes, so no lost space. No lost space in a round house.
No lost space. And when you go to 3 stories, which is were not permittable, which is a funny little thing, I designed a 2-story house with a very high ceiling and the master bedroom. And the minute the building department inspector walked through and said, "Harry, I'm not going into this house. It's all wrong. We'll just talk politics instead." That was at the front door, which we just laughed about it because nothing was out of the book, and was not with the code. But he understood the fact that I was a little bit out of the code anyway. out of the box.
Well, I was interested in your design philosophy. Has it changed since you started out doing different projects?
Yes. We all evolve, and nature evolves. The planet, everything that's alive is evolution. And that is, are you getting this? It's a great cycle that we live in. And the planet lives in a cycle. And the universe is one huge cycle. We all evolve. And so architecture evolves. Look what we have today. And then look back at medieval castles.
You really do like
Mesopotamian huts.
So tell me what you're working on today. What kinds of projects are you doing now?
I'm working on the most exciting thing. The greatest surfer that's ever lived, his name is Kelly Slater, and he and I have known each other for years. And during that time, during the last 12 years, he has been designing an incredible artificial wave, he and his engineers. And he's asked me to master plan the wave now. It's called the pond, and it's in the middle of nowhere, because I can't tell you where it is. I've signed something that says non-disclosure. But soon everyone will know. But you can see it on the website. Look up Kelly Slater's wave, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the perfect wave, and it's 1/4 of a mile long, and it's in a pond in the middle of nowhere. And I'm designing a lodge and several little hutments around the lake, the pond. That's one of the exciting things I'm working on. The other one is the autonomous tent. And the autonomous tent is a way to manipulate around the building department and the bureaucracy that we are living in right now, which is very difficult to build within the book, within the code. And we have advanced tremendously in the construction elements and structural elements of architecture, and it's holding us back. So I have designed the autonomous tent, which is really a house, but it has no foundations. That means that it doesn't apply as a house. It applies as a tent. But the foundations are stronger than concrete. You will see some of that if you study the autonomous tent, which is on your television, your computer. You can find it.
So we can all move in to the autonomous tent.
Yes, it'll go anywhere.
Coming to your town soon.
Yeah, it'll go anywhere. It'll fit any terrain. And it can be gone without a trace within a day.
So how does that fit in with your client relationship when you're talking about something like these projects you're working on now? Tell me about your relationship with your individual clients over the years.
Well, they come to me.
They come to you.
Yeah, I don't reach out to them because it's a very small percentage of the population that understands my work in the past. Now it's getting a little easier. But I've found that I've been very busy all my life, just doing what I'm doing.
And how do people find you? Do they come surfing and
some of them,
discover
yes,
you?
some of them do. Some of them see my work and around the country and seek me out. That's the fun part.
Right. I was fortunate enough to, when I was working for the Los Angeles Conservancy, I created a tour about 1960s architecture. And that's when you and I first met.
Yeah.
I featured two of Mr. Gesner's houses on my tour. And it was a delight to discover this super interesting person with these amazing designs that was kind of not well known, I don't think, in Los Angeles. Well known in many ways, but not sort of popularly well known. Subsequently, there's been a book that's been produced about your work, and it's called Houses of the Sundown Sea, and it's has the publication of the book really encouraged people to come and seek you out, and has that provided some opportunities to be able to talk about your work and about your career and things like that?
Yes, I enjoy talking to people, clients. Enjoy talking to you.
That's right.
It's not my best hat,
Well,
but
it's a pretty good hat.
I try.
It's a pretty good hat. Well, and you know, we've been talking a lot over the last 2 days about iconic houses and what makes an iconic house. And I was curious your thoughts. What makes an iconic house?
Something outside the box, the usual. And also the care that was taken by the architect to make something individual and interesting and express his philosophy on design and living. I try to get all of that into my work, including humor. I think the house had spots where it should be fun, and also mystery, and also drama, excitement. If you get that all into a house, it never gets tiresome.
That's right. And have you had modern dance performances in your living room, too?
We could, but I mean, we've had my wife reciting Shakespeare and some of her other favorites. And I designed the hearth, for instance, as a stage, and the fireplace behind it for a sound.
To reflect
I would say
the
like
sound.
the Hollywood, quickest similarity would be the Hollywood Bowl. Because it is sound is a wave, and it will travel from a single source, out in all directions that it's facing. What else?
Well, I found when I visited your house yesterday, because I had never been there, that it was a very personal expression of you and your life. And I wondered, as you work with your clients, do you design around their existing
certainly do.
furniture or artwork that they have? You want to talk about that experience a little bit? Maybe the Eagles.
Well,
nest,
I designed the home to fit them, not me. And I will design everything, including the furniture. It doesn't always get built, but it's there in the offering. I try to fit the house to the site, the environment, the view, everything, including the people who are living there.
I think you seem like in the design certainly of your own home, but in some of the other houses that you've built, that sustainability and the recycling of existing materials is an important theme that you've used. Telephone poles, for instance, and other materials like that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, we shouldn't be carting everything that's past that we destroy and send it to the dump, because there's a great deal of it that can be reused, and oftentimes it's much better material than you can buy new, because it's cured. It's has character to it. It has dimension that that you can't usually find in the new products, and it can be inspiring as well in the construction. So we shouldn't throw away the past.
Well, I couldn't agree more, of course, because I'm a heritage conservationist. But you know, I think that seems very clear to me. Talk a little bit about the relationship between art and architecture in your buildings, in the way that you've designed them. Do you view the buildings that you create as art?
Yes, I do. I like sculpture. I consider it sculpture, architectural sculpture, in that form, in that dimension. And every bit of it is, the view is a piece of art. How you cook in the kitchen can be an art form. All things in life can be considered art if you look at it through that kind of an eye.
And so here at the Getty, you have one of your houses that's part of the campus here. And so it's a little bit off the beaten path. It's right behind us. And such timing.
I didn't know this was going on while we're talking.
Yes, so this is the Scantlin house, which is now known as the trustee house here.
There used to be 3 magnificent sport cars in there. A Jaguar XK100, a Ferrari, and an Alfa Romeo.
So this house had some pretty unique features. I think Mr. Scantlin was kind of a unique guy. So can you talk a little bit about the swimming pool, grotto area? Tell people about that.
Well, there it is. That's the swimming pool, and it went over to that stone wall you saw. And he said he wanted to swim every day, and he wanted to get his exercise that way. So I thought, okay, what about winter? Wetsuits were not a fashion for swimming in swimming pools then. And I thought, well, great. I'll just make the bathroom part of the swimming pool and have an airlock into the swimming pool next to the shower in the bathroom. And I had planted a garden, designed a garden around the pool in the garden, in the
house
bathroom. And in amongst the foliage and so forth, I put the toilet, which I thought was a nice turn. I'm talking about humor now.
Yes.
In the house.
Yes, I would imagine that was a somewhat humorous
Yes.
thing to discover.
Yes, it was.
Right.
And then a huge stained glass window looking at the setting sun and the morning sun. It was due south, so you got both south and north. I mean east and west. Got to get this right. And so anyway, what he would do is he would shower, dive into the swimming pool, go through the airlock, which was just the bottom, thank you.
Very important. Otherwise, we don't have sound on the film.
Really?
Yeah, we have to do it all over again.
Oh, no.
You all don't mind, do you? No.
Okay, so you dive into he would dive into the pool, which was like in a grotto. It was the bathroom was a grotto, not a bathroom. And he would swim back and forth and then come out and into his room. This is the winter time, especially. this is when it worked the best. So anyway, he sold the house to the Getty Foundation and moved out to, I don't know where. He's disappeared. We can't seem to find him.
International man of mystery. He's kind of a mystery, this guy.
He is, but that's the way he liked to live. He was mysterious. Anyway, what happened was that years later, when they were building the Getty, and the architect was living in that house, he left town for a while, other work in the East Coast, and he came back and he opened his front door, and here's somebody sitting in his chair with his robe, with his cigars and his bottle of brandy, enjoying a fire. And he thought, who in the heck is this? You know, this is incredible. Invasion of my privacy, his privacy, the architect. And I guess he called the police, and the guy ran out and got away. But it was a bum who had just discovered that that there was a swimming pool there, heated, warm, and then in swimming, he noticed that there was a way of getting into another area. And there he was. He had the key to the kingdom was right there.
So for those of you who have swimming pools, you should mind that you have some way to close those off in the future. Because doesn't everyone have a swimming pool in their house? I don't know. With a toilet in a grotto. That could just be him. I don't know. Well, so I think that gives you a sense of some of the very distinctive design responses that Mr. Gesner was able to provide for his clients. Not everyone would want that, but certainly Mr. Scantlin did. And so that was kind of a fun way to personalize his house.
What you don't know is that he also wanted a bomb shelter. He thought that there was a war coming. Mm-hmm. And he was a little bit paranoid. And he said, I want my bomb shelter under the house. And he wanted it down. He said 100 feet, but I mean, that was a little overkill. But he did. He wanted a way of getting down into the ground and having another house underground, mm-hmm. which would have been very interesting. I was all for it.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't get a chance to build that for him?
No.
Too bad, because that would be really a fun field trip, don't you think? Oh my gosh. If he had a swim under pool, think what his bomb shelter would look like. Well, I'm really grateful that you came to see us today and that we got to come and see your house, because I think for all of us that was really a treat to be able to come and share that experience with you on such a beautiful day, and to be there with you. It's not always an opportunity to be in these beautiful, iconic houses with the person who designed them to have that experience, and so it's really a pleasure when we can hear the words from the person who built it and designed it himself. So thank you for sharing that with us and for coming to share a little bit of your experiences and career here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you. I never got applause before. Thank you.